it's Allie from Allie's Best, and today I wanted to talk to you about what I wish I had done differently before my baby was born. But before we get into it, if you like Judaism, motherhood, everyday life, decorating, things of that nature, make sure you subscribe below and like this video. Number one, I loved being pregnant. And because of that, I really savored being pregnant and really focused while I was pregnant on being pregnant. And what I wish I had done differently is I wish I thought of myself more, I wish I thought of my pregnant self more like my future self's assistant rather than the most important person at that moment. I mean, not necessarily more important than other people, but as far as I was really focused on pregnant me, and I think I really should have been focused on new mom Allie while I was pregnant. And a lot of these other things I wish I had done differently have to do with that. I wish I had prepared myself more for having the baby here than I did for pregnancy and birth related things. And yeah. Number two, so on that note, these are all gonna kind of follow number one. Number two, I wish I had taken a baby sleep class before the baby was here, because once the baby's here, I feel like you're constantly playing catch up, and there was a step that you were supposed to take when they were a newborn, and then there was supposed to be something you were supposed to do when they were 3 or 4 months, and now we're really dealing with trying to get Bowie to sleep in a happy and healthy way and a safe way, and it's hard. And I feel there were a million things I could have done earlier if I had only known and taken the class before she was here. So yeah, I wish I had taken a sleep class. Number three, kind of on the same note as number two, I wish I had read parenting books right before Bowie was born. I have read a bunch of parenting books because I've been pregnant so many times, and I'll make a video about that later. But Bowie was my 4th pregnancy. So before that, over the course of 2.5, 3 years, I think, I had plenty of time to read parenting books, but nothing right before she got here because I was so focused on just enjoying being pregnant that I didn't read anything right before she came. If you have just finished a parenting book, at least you have one person's hopefully knowledgeable opinion about what the heck you're supposed to do with a baby. So I wish I had read something, Allie. I wish I had read something about having a new baby before the baby got here, because I read so much about being pregnant and what's happening this week of pregnancy, and not hey, you're gonna be a mom, read something about being a mom. Number 4. The 4th thing I wish I had done before my daughter was born was baby proofed. I was we have all the time in the world. The baby's not gonna start moving around till 8 or 9 months. We have time, it's fine. And that's true, the baby doesn't start moving around a whole lot before that, but then you have a moving baby that you need to control while you drill stuff into the wall. And it's hard. It's hard to get big projects like that done when you have a baby who wants to crawl around. So I wish we had taken the time when we didn't have kids. That's the other thing that you forget, is that you only are pregnant without kids that one time. That's your time to do things that are difficult to do without children, because then who knows the next time you're gonna have without kids in your house. Ooh, my hands look so big. Maybe my hands are just big. Anyway, so yes, right now Bowie is starting to creep. She creeps towards outlets. She creeps towards things that are not attached to walls. So now we are in this big rush to get everything baby proofed, when we had tons of time, specifically I had tons of time before she got here to have done more baby proofing. So I really wish we had just taken that time to baby proof before she was born. In that same vein, number 5 is I wish we had finished more of our house projects, specifically getting the floors done in all of the bedrooms. So now We are trying to figure out how to redo the floor and move bedrooms and do all of this stuff in order to get that floor finished while we have a baby who's starting to like crawl and want to really engage with us. So I really wish we had done more of the house projects around the house, or like gotten an outdoor living area all set up, because, well, she was born right before winter time, so we weren't thinking about it. Also, like, we weren't all staying home all the time when Bowie was born, so we didn't know how much time we were gonna spend at the house. But still, I wish we had an outdoor area for us to like hang out in, because we are spending so much time at home right now. But that could be just be a separate thing. But the floors I really wish we had done. Okay, the next two are about things I wish I had purchased or registered for. The first one is, I wish I had registered for the fancy high chair that I now want but feel like is unreasonable to splurge on. I feel like it would have made a great group gift, or like one of my family members may have wanted to splurge on it as a gift. And I just thought, like, why would I register for anything I wasn't going to need right away? And I was wrong. I think that you should register for things that you're gonna need in like the first year, rather than like just the first 4 months, which is like really what I focused on. I registered for things that I would need immediately and didn't think too far beyond that. And like, it's harder to like do research about what product you want and go hunt down and get the product you want when you have baby here, I think. So I wish I had registered for the more expensive, well, I didn't register for any high chair. And I wish I had just like been bold and registered for like the nice fancy wood high chair that I really wanted. She has her booster seat, it works. You don't need the fancy wood high chair. It just seems like silly to splurge on, because she won't know the difference, but I know the difference. And the next one is toys. I did not register for a lot of toys, and because of that, I did not get a lot of toys, which is totally fine. The things that we got were phenomenal, but I wish we had registered for more toys, and I wish that I had just prepared to have more toys in the house before the baby got here. And I just wished that I had done the legwork ahead of time, researched what kind of toys she would need at different ages ahead of time, and just had them on hand to switch out once I felt like she was getting ready for a new stage. So again, because it's hard to do that kind of research and everything when the baby is here. So now I find myself just kind of like, oh, that kind of looks like it'll be good, order, it'll be here in 3 days, rather than like actually having time to sit down and think about like what's developmentally appropriate for her, and you know, what skills she's trying to work on and things of that nature. I just don't feel as though I have the time to really delve into those things, and I'm just kind of guessing based on the description of the product whether or not it's going to be useful for us, and buying it kind of all willy-nilly. But it's okay, she has toys to play with and she seems pretty happy, but I just feel like it would have been easier had I had them all set up, you know, in age groups and stuff beforehand. Another thing that I wish I had registered for or just bought was only big bottles. I ended up registering for 5-ounce bottles and 8-ounce bottles, and then I started to think, like, eventually as we were switching from the 5-ounce to the 8-ounce and she was drinking like 6 ounces, I was like, why on earth does the 5-ounce bottle exist if you can make any size bottle in an 8-ounce bottle? Does that make sense? Like, I can make a 3-ounce bottle inside the big 8-ounce bottle. I can make an 8-ounce bottle in the 8-ounce bottle. The 5-ounce bottles, or the little bottles, are just like totally not necessary. You can save money and you can save yourself like some hassle by just getting a bunch of the big bottles and then just making whatever size bottle you want within that bottle. I feel so silly. I feel like I fell for like a total marketing scam. Like, my little baby needs a little bottle. That is not true. Your little baby can take any size bottle as long as you fill it with the right amount of formula or breast milk. Yeah, only get big bottles. That's what I wish I had done bottle-wise. Number 9, I'm thinking back to myself just as a brand new mom, and I really wish I had pre-cooked meals for myself. You know, we don't have fast food or delivery here where I live, so not to say we don't have junk food, but we don't have fast food and no drive-throughs or anything like that. And so it just would have been easier to have like nice healthy meals on hand that you could pop into the oven. And I think that would have been super duper helpful and just like nice and kind of comforting to have in that first few weeks. Though, if you watch my 2 weeks postpartum video, there was a huge blackout and all of those frozen foods would have gone bad anyway. It's not funny, but it's kind of funny. I'll link that video around here somewhere. And number 10, my last one, is I wish that my husband and I had taken a baby moon. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you know that I found out I was pregnant while we were in England. And while that could have counted as a baby moon, I felt horribly sick the entire time. And I honestly barely remember that trip. I'll like look back at pictures to try to remind myself what we did. But I was so sick and so in that pregnancy fog that I do not remember that trip at all. But towards the end of my pregnancy, I started to feel much better, and I felt like, or I feel like now, it would have been nice if we really just tried to pull together to do some kind of trip, just him and I, or just my husband and I, right before the baby came, to enjoy some zero responsibilities travel. I know that we'll be able to travel with Bowie and that will also be like its own kind of miraculous fun. But to think about the fact that your baby moon could be your last vacation of your life before, you know, you're very old without your kids is kind of crazy. I didn't really think about how many lasts there were going to be before the baby, and now I feel like I missed out on some of them. Just times without baby responsibility. So those are the 10 things I wish I would have done differently before I had my baby. I want to know, do you guys have anything that I missed? Like, what are your like must-dos before a baby comes? I hope you guys liked this video. If you liked it, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and click like below so I know to make more videos like this. Though I hope I don't regret anything else about the time before I had the baby. No, I think 10 is good. I think 10 is good. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.